According to White House officials, the American people are in a better situation than we were just 2 years ago, and 3 years ago, and 4 years ago. But is that really the truth? Well, we're going to discuss that in today's video, because what President Biden said just the other day is actually contradicting what he has said in the past. Also, is he lying? This is the big question, and why is he lying for these particular reasons? Well, again, we're going to address that in this video. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So first off, what is President Biden lying about, and why does he keep contradicting his own statements? Well, let's just look at this. This right here says, President Biden admits U.S. southern border is not secure. However, he's defending his policies. He's defending what he has done. Over the past 3 years, he has made many changes to the U.S. southern border. One of which, he stopped building the southern border wall. That was a difficult task because it did prove to be effective. And in the past, actually in 2007, he said virtual and real walls were something that we needed to do. Actually, then he called it fencing. Now, this brings us to today. I want to play you something in just a moment. I want to play you this clip, and we're going to go through it because this was just from 2 years ago. But here's the concern. Right now, some Democrats are pretty much replaying President Biden's words back to him, saying that you called for this. You got rid of the Remain in Mexico. Right? You changed all these different policies, and now you're saying that it's not working. The U.S. southern border is not secure. Okay? Because just the other day, a reporter asked if he believed the border was secure. And President Biden stated, and I quote, "No, it's not. I haven't believed it for the last 10 years, and I've said it for the last 10 years. Give me the money." He wants money to fix the border. That's where Republicans say, you're not going to get the border fixed with just money. We have to change the policies. But let me play you this clip really quick. Just look at this.
Immigration has always been essential to America. Let's end our exhausting war over immigration. For more than 30 years, politicians have talked about immigration reform, and we've done nothing about it. It's time to fix it. On day one of my presidency, I kept my commitment and sent a comprehensive immigration bill to the United States Congress. If you believe we need to secure the border, pass it because it has a lot of money for high-tech border security.
Let's talk about that for a moment. That if we need to secure the border, let's pass it, because there's a lot of money for high-tech border security. One very low-tech solution is you build the rest of the wall. Another one that Texas has been doing is they're using razor wire. They're putting razor wire along the border, and this is actually slowing down migration into the United States. But this is something that the Biden administration has said, this is cruel, this is inhumane, and so they wanted the Supreme Court to pretty much force Texas to remove this and take it down. Well, they continue to build more fences using razor wire. And again, it is slowing down immigration. But let's keep listening to this, because again, that's very low tech. He's talking about high tech. Okay, high tech, but you need money.
If you believe in a pathway to citizenship, pass it. There's over 11 million undocumented folks, the vast majority of here overstaying visas.
Let's talk about that one for a moment. He said there's over 11 million undocumented people here in the United States. I think there's a lot more than that. This was 2 years ago. This was 2 years ago that President Biden was saying this. This is he was addressing Congress. Now, over 11 million people, that was 2 years ago. There's much more than that now. Especially when, just in December of 2023, over 300,000 people entered the United States illegally. Yeah, so there's a lot more than 11 million. The other one is, he's saying if we need to get these people that have overstayed their visas, get them documented, right? Need to fix that policy. Well, where is that? Where are Democrats? Where are Republicans? Right? They're asking for different things, but where are these bills? Again, I'm not just putting this on Democrats. Democrats are the ones that are asking for $60 billion to go to Ukraine. Where's the $60 billion going for the U.S. southern border? Where's the money going there? That's what many people are asking.
Pass it. We can actually, if you actually want to solve a problem, I've sent a bill to take a close look at it.
Well, that's not good. Sleeping.
We also have to get at the root problem of why people are fleeing, particularly to our southern border from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador.
If you listen to that one, he said we have to figure out the root problem. Why are people leaving Guatemala, El Salvador, right? Why are they leaving? What is the reason, right? Let's keep listening.
The violence, the corruption, the gangs, the political instability, hunger, hurricanes, earthquakes, natural disasters. When I was president, when I was vice president, the president asked me to focus on providing help needed to address the root causes of migration. And it helped keep people in their own countries instead of being forced to leave. The plan was working, but the last administration decided it was not worth it.
I want to touch on that one for a moment. One of the things he said is it was his priority, his job to ensure that people stayed in their own countries. They weren't trying to come into the United States. Well, that's exactly what is happening now, which it was tough to, did the last administration, so the Trump administration, did they cause more people to come into the United States and leave their countries? Potentially, yes. Because we weren't giving money away like, under previous administrations. Former President Donald Trump was a little more frugal when it came to just handing out money. And so were Republicans. But again, that was a different time as well because that was during the pandemic. So the hard part is now, and this was again 2 years ago, is where is him doing that job now? Why are we not giving money to Venezuela? Why are we not giving money to Cuba? And there's people coming from China, South Africa, people coming from Turkey, all over the place, right? They're coming to the United States because they think the border is open, because that's the look, that's the illusion we're giving off. But again, I bring this up because he is saying right here that we need to figure out the root cause of the problem. The causes are the other countries, the violence, the gangs, the political instability, all those things. But what are we doing in the United States to fix those problems? Nothing. We're not doing a thing. So again, I bring that up. Where is Congress in that? Right?
I'm restoring the program and asked Vice President Harris to lead our diplomatic effort to take care of this.
I want to touch on that one for a second. That he is restoring that, and he asked Vice President Kamala Harris to lead that. She did a horrendous job trying to do that. She did a terrible job. You haven't seen her. That's part of the problem. So when he said he is giving this to Vice President Kamala Harris, that was probably one of his big mistakes as well.
I have absolute confidence she'll get the job done.
They would have known, you shouldn't have clapped for that.
If you don't like my plan, let's at least pass what we all agree on. Congress needs to pass legislation this year to finally secure protection for dreamers. The young people have only known America as their home. And permanent protection for immigrants who are here on temporary protective status who came from countries beset by man-made and natural-made violence and disaster.
One thing I want to touch on right there is Republicans have said before that they are not against providing people that have been in the United States and only known the United States as their home. They're not opposing giving them status, right? Going through the proper channels. But what they are opposing, and they're not quiet about this, they're very vocal, is we cannot just allow millions and millions of people to enter in the United States, and now we're calling them, dreamers, because they are dreaming of a better life, providing for a family, for children, right? Because this is what we're seeing. People are coming in the United States, they're bringing their children, but a lot of the parents are getting kicked out because they're saying, "Oh, those aren't my kids. I don't know who those are. They're just walking with me." And now we are responsible for their children. That's troubling, because that also means we got to have additional funding. But now we have, young people in the United States that don't have family, have no support system. Again, highly concerning. Let's keep watching this.
As well as a pathway to citizenship for foreign workers who put food on our tables. Look, immigrants have done so much for America during this pandemic and throughout our history.
Now, one thing I just want to say there is, based off what experts are saying, is that, and this is the part of the problem, Mexico is asking the United States to pretty much grant illegal immigrants a work permit. Okay? Give like 10 million people, 20 million people a work permit. Allow them to work. Now, here's the problem with that. If all these people start to work, and again, they're probably going to work at the lower, lower skill level jobs. A lot of it's going to be agriculture and stuff like that. Well, the problem is, all those people that were previously doing those jobs, where do they go? Because if somebody comes in and is undercutting their pay, as a agriculture boss, you're probably going to go with the less expensive option. Because again, it comes down to money. And so that's part of the problem, is we're going to give all these people a work permit, which some of them deserve it. Others, they haven't gone through the process. And so that's part of the issue, is how are we going to fix this? How are we going to fix this problem? Because this is a problem that needs a solution immediately. But the solution, according to Republicans, cannot be just give everybody a work permit and then things will get better. No, that's only going to exacerbate the problem. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is the Republican Party and the Biden administration do not see eye to eye. President Biden wants additional funding, and yet Republicans want policy changes. So we'll see what happens, but according to experts, both of these things have to happen in order to see the amount of immigration really slow down here in the United States. So as soon as we get more information on this, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.